Solana ETF, a Dogecoin ETF, an XRP ETF. There's ETFs just being handed out. So I feel like everybody right now, the conversations are sparking, guys. Everybody is anticipating massive growth in DeFi. But before we jump into that, markets are pulling back right now. So make sure you smash that like button and get ready for an epic stream today, because we see Bitcoin sitting at $67,000 and $900 right now. It's came down quite a bit. Last night we told you guys, hey, get ready to take profits. There was a lot of bear indicators flashing. People were over leveraged. We were expecting a bit of a pullback before the next bounce. And tell you what, guys, at 300 likes today, I'm going to give you guys my price prediction for Bitcoin in just the next 2 weeks, because there's a major indicator that is flashing that I'm going to show you guys. But we have to hit 300 likes. DZ, how you doing today? It feels good to be back in the markets.
I'm doing a lot better than the Bitcoin chart right now. Just pulled up the 24-hour because, I know there's a sharp correction. Look at that cliff that it just fell off right there. You can see a nice bounce off the 69K psychological level. And then, kind of flirted with, hey, we gained $500 back, and then just bled out another 1,500
Bit of a knife. Bit of a knife right there, guys. I'm very curious. Let us know in chat. Type 1 in chat if you're appreciating the live afternoon streams, because that's what's prepared us for today. If you guys are watching that 1:30 with DZ, of course, at 4 o'clock with me, put 2 if you haven't yet. And if I see 2s in the chat, I better see you later today. Ethereum now sitting at $3,800, BNB at $593, Solana at $171. XRP did get relisted on Coinbase. Kind of a breaking news that it got relisted on Coinbase in New York. Jumped a little bit today, up about 3% at 53 cents now, getting a little bit of life back into the XRP community. Dogecoin down now to 15.9%. And of course, Toncoin. Toncoin's really just been flat, to be honest. Yeah. And that's because it's probably been one of the biggest movers I have seen here in the last few weeks. And the Cardano,
I will say this about Toncoin. Toncoin, when Bitcoin has a pretty red day, Toncoin has a good job of at least being flat, if not being green. So it's a good counter move to Bitcoin a lot of the time.
And it's a strong coin. It's a strong coin. I mean, it's Telegram, right? It's the largest, that's like the most degenerate platform in crypto, which was kind of like, when you look back at it, it's one of those not buy the rumor, sell the news events. It's like, why didn't I buy that news? Yeah. It's like, it's I'll
tell you why, because we live in America, and outside of America, it's one of the most popular social apps out. Inside of America, I don't even think it's top 20.
I would have to agree.
I would have to agree. Geography situation.
We are seeing Cardano pull back here a little bit. So we were doing TA on this not so long ago when it was at 49 cents. And I did want to give a little bit of a price prediction here just in the beginning for you guys. We are right now on the last support level for Cardano. So we might get a flash wick. I don't know if we're actually going to end up filling. There's a massive imbalance on Cardano. I don't know why, but at 41.8 cents, there is a massive imbalance. But what I want to point out, guys, there is a ton of buy orders coming in now. So we might not be seeing that price point at all in the near future. But we will get to the charts here in just a moment.
Whoa. Hey, whoa. Mary Herbert, maybe Frank Herbert's daughter, gifted 5 memberships. We appreciate it. And we also like Dune, the novel series.
Josh should have a sports quote on. Yeah, I have to do my laundry, guys. I'm going to be completely real. I got back from Cancun on Monday just looking like a degenerate. You can hear my voice.
That shirt is from Stolen Luggage.
Yeah, it's actually just, I got it outside. It's from Stolen Luggage. I picked up the wrong one. So I'll be looking dapper here tomorrow. But first and foremost,
like a Biden administration official.
Yes, like I kind of know what I'm doing. It's going to look like that kind of function. Like every banker, they just look like they know what they're doing.
I mean, just stealing the luggage.
Oh,
no. That was like 2 years ago.
That's 2 years ago. I do remember that. Well, hey, speaking of stealing, 327 million ETH has been sent to crypto exchanges after speculation about a spot ETF. Now, why did I say speaking of stealing? Because the banks have been stealing all of this chance from retail. They've been saying, hey, Ethereum, Bitcoin, bad, stay away. Now we're getting all of this speculation out of approval and banks are buying. It's kind of ridiculous. A series of sudden and positive developments on the spot Ether exchange traded fund sent the price of Ether soaring as much as 30% over the last 2 days. The second largest digital asset was trading at $3,798 at the time of this writing, with a daily trading volume of 33 billion.
And I'm hitting refresh, and ETH is just sitting flat right at $3,800. After the little bit of a dip, it went down to 38. Yeah, right there at 38 now. Climbing just slightly.
So it did have, that's a sharp, that right there, chat, that is what it looks like when retail just FOMOs into over leveraged longs. That is exactly what happened right there. The forecast remained intact on Tuesday after filings from 5 of the prospective spot Ether ETF applicants showed they had amended their 19B forms. This is going to be Vanik, Fidelity, Invesco, Galaxy, ARK, and of course, Franklin Templeton. Shout out to Franklin Templeton. They're still leading the second largest competitor on your tokenized treasuries right now, which we're going to talk about today as well. The most notable change was the removal of provisions for ETH staking by Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, and ARK21 shares. So they've completely bounced back on the ETH staking. Now, ETH staking, I'm actually getting a lot more into. I'm actually probably, this is a big number, but I do think I'm going to start messing a lot more with Lido because it's kind of like getting dividends off your ETH. So I have a lot of Ethereum. I have a lot of Bitcoin. I'm going to be putting a decent position of my Ethereum into those staking to start receiving that extra
Get your
interest.
liquid staking derivative. Are you going to then go further down the DeFi rabbit hole and try to play
Stop
with
there.
that?
Nope. No
Okay.
restaking to restaking to restake. No, just basic staking. It's kind of like, it's just the least risky out of all of that because you're really just, the only way it falls is if Ethereum crashes.
Yeah, with Ethereum, I would say Lido is probably the least risky. All right, let me ask a question. What is more risky? Is it going, onto Lido, going onto their platform, doing it yourself, staking, you give up custody, you get a liquid derivative, or would it just be stake through Coinbase?
Probably just do Coinbase. I mean,
I think you get the better rewards with Lido.
You get the better rewards, but you probably get the better I wouldn't even say you get the better security. It would just be that sense of Coinbase is a publicly traded company backed by BlackRock, and there's a lot of merit to that you're not going to get with a DeFi platform like Lido, right? Yeah. However, people in crypto know that Lido, the only really way that starts to collapse would be if Ethereum just went to like $500, which again,
or if Lido had an exploit, which is very unlikely. There's so much money tied in that system, very, very unlikely there'd ever be anything like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like I'd compare it to Coinbase getting hacked, right? Yeah. We'll have to see. But according to this report from Barron's, SEC staff told exchanges that the regulator is leaning towards approving these Ethereum ETFs. So chat, let me know. Let's get ones in the chat if you think the Ethereum ETF is going to be approved. 2 if you do not. And whoever wins, get invited to our pizza party. Let's just do that, I guess.
We're doing a pizza party?
We got to do a pizza party. Bumblebee.
I see other people talking about potential ETFs. Yeah, we're going to talk about, what is the next one after Ethereum? Someone throwing out a polka dot right there. This one was the one I was saying. Tejano got a question for you. Don't stake?
Don't stake? No, do stake. No, I'm just kidding. Staking's really 90% of the audience. Like a lot of people are brand new to crypto. Staking's just a little bit harder to understand, so I don't necessarily make that step. But I'll be making tons of videos on it. We'll be talking about, I'll be showing you guys how I do it, and it's just going to be a very small position in that portfolio. All the ones in the chat got a lot of 2s, though, as well. So the number one question I would imagine people have right now, DZ, is when is this going to be approved? And on this article, it's telling us, guys, discussions are underway. The S1 approval is expected within hours. Eleanor Terrett revealed that the SEC had started their discussions with Ethereum ETF issuers regarding this on May 22nd.
So I was going to say, not to cut you off, sorry. I got a stream at 1:30. Josh has one at 4. If that announcement happens, we are going to pivot the stream. Of course, we'll talk about that. I think Josh will do the same. So we'll see when they announce, and we'll cover it later this afternoon. So stick around. Put on that notification, by the way.
I was curious. Is it today's the deadline, or was it tomorrow?
So we have one on the 23rd, one on the 24th.
Okay, perfect. So it had to be all of them today, if not, so more than likely it would be today. So hopefully, by end of day, guys, we'll know here. Well, here's breaking news as Gary Gensler has made a statement on Ethereum ETFs. Chat, listen closely. Turn up the audio. I really want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Let me know what you guys think about Gary Gensler in this video here. Let me make sure I have the audio.
Know what I'm doing or saying.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know what I'm doing or saying. My wife dressed me this morning and wiped my ass after I took a pooey poo, and I'm so disoriented that I might just have to resort to screaming and yelling to create the illusion that I comprehend what the heck I'm doing.
Eat shit, Gary. You are a loser. You always lose. And the American people are tired of it. Frankly, I'm tired of it. Crypto is getting ready to deploy spot ETFs, and you're still sitting there sucking your thumb, wondering if Satoshi is a mermaid or a tulip.
So, chat, is Satoshi a mermaid or a tulip? I'm going to have to go with a mermaid because that dude is magical.
I like how there's 2. One was clearly fake, and then one you're like, that almost could be real.
It almost could be.
Almost.
It almost could be real, dude. Well, Hong Kong is seeing record inflows for the first time with their Ethereum ETFs. Oh, shocking. Ethereum ETFs in Hong Kong hit record inflows. Yes, so Hong Kong and China, once again, 9 steps ahead of the United States. I feel like this is just a trend? I don't know. Like, have you seen the video? Maybe you can find this video of the 5-year-olds. Sorry, I think they're 5-year-olds, kindergartners playing basketball. Have you seen that clip?
Yeah.
It is insane. They're like, I don't even know. You guys have to watch that in just a second. But this week marked a change for Ethereum ETFs on Monday. None of the 3 Ethereum ETFs managed by China, AMC, Harvest Global, Bocera, and Hashkey Capital saw any inflows, meaning no new investor purchases.
I have the clip right here.
Here's the clip of, this. Yeah, this is insane.
So that's how they handle their ETF strategy. We have a little bit different strategy.
How old is it? Kindergarten?
Yeah, kindergarten students. Do you think our kindergartens look like this?
Dude, it gets even crazier. They start getting like if you can skip through it, I think they start
just loops.
They start, oh, that's the loop one. Yeah, they start like dancing and doing like symmetrical, like what do you call it when like, I don't even know. I'm not a dancer.
I don't know.
It's like, choreography. They're like, they go at it, dude. At like that
synchronized,
age.
Like synchronized swimming.
Exactly. Dribbling. It's synchronized dribbling. That's exactly what it is. It's pretty impressive. Just like the Bitcoin ETFs here in Hong Kong, guys, performed well on their first day, April 30th. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs had over 87.5 million or 11.2 million in USD in trading volume. However, this is modest compared to the 4.6 billion, of course, in the United States. But I do expect that to continue on strong as Ether's bull momentum is strongest ever since May of 2021 right here. We are looking at, of course, multiple different indicators flashing that we have major buy signals from 2021 that could say that, hey, we're maybe like only halfway into this bull run. The 14-day RSI lower panel has crossed above 70, which is also a sign of strengthening bullish momentum. The indicator oscillates between 0 and 100. Readings over 70 indicate a strong upward momentum, not as popularly perceived overbought conditions. Regarding below 30 is an acceleration in price sell-off. So again, we're seeing that rebound here. You can see it very, very smallly here on that chart. You might have to squint to see it. I definitely have to do it with my glasses. But 10-day momentum strongest since 2021. We are again at that point here in this bull run. So things are starting to heat up. Where can I download the Fear and Greed Index from? And is it Bitcoin or each altcoin? Thanks. So that is going to be FOMO.io. If you guys haven't checked it out, FOMO.io, if we could put a link in the chat for them.
Yep.
It is 42 different altcoins. However, not every altcoin has the API just yet, but there is definitely like, the devs are constantly working on it. There's like 20 plus of them that have the 24-hour to the 15-minute. And they're all different. They're all different APIs and pulling a ton of different information. So this is the first Fear and Greed Index tool that I like to say is the real Fear and Greed Index tool. And V2 chat is about to drop. So right now we're doing a limited time only 30-day free trial. It's only $5 a month anyways afterwards. But the next V2 is going to be insane.
And that's the right spelling, right?
Yeah, FOMO.io, just like that for you guys. So yeah, when you're looking at Ethereum or Bitcoin, right? Ethereum is going to be completely different than Bitcoin on the 24-hour time scale here. You can see Ethereum's at a 76 greed from the 24-hour time frame. And the reason why I have the 4 hours is because the 4 hour can allow you guys to really see what's happening more in real time on these markets. So, really, really cool products for you guys to help kind of navigate the emotions in the market there. Lawmakers at the GOP majority whip and Representative Josh, fresh off a victory passing a crypto regulatory framework bill in the House Wednesday, turned their attention to ETH spot ETFs today. So after the massive legislation that we've been speaking about over the last week that has been very bullish on a bipartisan level, everybody is now shifting that focus to the Ethereum spot ETF, saying that we do, in fact, need these. I don't necessarily need to go read through this. If you guys want to read the boring legislation through the ETPs and everything, feel free to do so. It's very educational. I'll have some really cool content coming out with politics here in the future. But DZ, I have to ask you, there's analysts out there that are saying this Ethereum ETF could honestly spark a 60% rally afterwards. Where are you at with the Ethereum ETF? This is a completely different position.
Well, there's one hurdle.
Bitcoin.
There's one speed bump we have to pass first, and that is going to be Congress. That is going to be, we have Nancy Pelosi kind of switching sides. I actually have a live look of Congress debating the crypto situation right now. That's them. Pretty kind of joking, but not,
is this the line to inside trade first? Is that what it is?
Yeah, this is they're printing out Nancy Pelosi's latest stock buy, and they're all just trying to copy trade her at the same time. I do think it looks like there is a trend. I think it's kind of what we said yesterday. Maybe it's a little too oversimplistic. Looks like a Biden pivot, and it might be that simple.
Man, do you think this will actually help Biden with his campaign, though? Or is everybody calling the bluff?
No.
You're not gaslighting us.
I think it's, well, you know what? I think maybe on the fringes, but if you can eke away half of 1% or 0.3%, something like that, in these battleground, in these swing states, in these very important counties, maybe it can matter if you do 20 different things, the scatter approach.
I would have to agree. I'd have to agree, which is going to lead us to the 60% possible rally here. But Chad, I have to ask you guys, what's your Ethereum price prediction? Give us your Ethereum price prediction for the end of May. Or actually, let's just say this. Ethereum price prediction for around 2 weeks after the approval of the spot Ethereum ETF. If it gets approved, what's the price it's going to hit? Because according to this analyst, they believe it could spur a 60% rally in Ethereum with this buying increase. And of course, if that happens, guys, markets are going to go absolutely insane. And there is one thing you have to do with all of your crypto to keep it safe and secure, guys. And that is make sure you guys get that Arculus wallet. I want to see it in the chat. One's in the chat if you have Arculus, 2 if you don't. 1 in chat if you do, 2 if you don't. We want to turn all those 2s into 1s this bull run, guys. Self-custody is the most important attribute of all of crypto. If you do not have your crypto on self-custody, you do not own your crypto. You're open to tons of risk. Make sure you guys go check this out. Use code DC10. The link is in the description below. It is by far the sexiest cold storage wallet on the market. You don't want to hold an ugly one, right? That's kind of
all right. We got some predictions out here. 6K, 4,500, 4,200. I do like the 4,200, 5,000, 6,000. Oh, we got a username, $4,723.98. Oh, we got an insider.
Wow,
now.
That's that. Nancy?
He works
Nancy
at
Pelosi? Is that you? Is that you, Pelosi? I think it's
he works
Pelosi in the
for
chat.
either ETH Foundation or Justin's son. I'm not sure which though.
One of the other. It's one or the other. Nobody else. But yeah, from this story, again, you got a 60% price prediction coming out of this. Which, if you do the math on that, what is about 60% from the price point to that? You're the math guy. I have to ask you.
That's $4,200 or $42,000.
That's $42,000.
60% of 70,000 is $42,000.
Sorry, for Ethereum.
Oh, so 4,000?
60% price increase from Ethereum's price at 3,800.
60% increase from where are we at right now?
38. We'll just say like 3,800.
That is going to be roughly an additional 2,100 to the 3,100. So yeah, you're looking at what's that? 5,900.
Wow.
Right there, right at the $6,000. Now I'm off by like $30 or something. Someone can maybe. Oh, DZ is actually.
Well, that is bullish, and I would love to see that as Ethereum futures market sentiment is in a massive uptrend. This uptrend in the taker buy sell ratio indicates a potential shift in market dynamics. If the ratio continues to rise, it may signal a reduction in aggressiveness selling pressure. I mean, more buyers and holders are going to be holding for the longer period of time, which is exactly why we're going to jump into charts here in just a second. Because, guys, this is being followed up by not only just an Ethereum ETF after Bitcoin, there's speculation around Solana getting the next ETF. On CNBC, in this article, you can see they actually even used my tweet. Let's get some claps. Let's go.
Yeah.
We finally made it.
You're
we
a
made
renowned analyst.
Mom, I made it. That's what I'm going to say. Renowned analyst here. But CNBC, guys, this is an insane video. If you guys haven't seen it, this was live yesterday on this analyst perspective on which altcoin is going to get the next approval of an ETF.
Starting to amend these S1s. So I don't know if the Ethereum ETF gets approved today, next week or the week after. It will get approved at some point in time. But also the trade now is who's next, right?
Exactly. Who is next? Because and I was talking about yesterday. Now it's almost time for truly my ETF, my blended ETF of which which crypto asset it is. And so who is next though?
I mean, I think you've got to think about Solana as probably the next one, right?
Boom.
I mean, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana are probably the big.
Yeah, right. It's what ADA?
Honestly, it could be Bitcoin Cash or Dogecoin.
Dude, I knew you were going to say that, and it's
going to be
true.
Litecoin.
So
maybe Litecoin, actually, yeah. So Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin,
what
same
about
conversation.
A bundle ETF, top 10 cryptocurrencies.
Now that is a good question. Then it's like, well, why would you buy that? What is the market for that? Wouldn't they just buy Bitcoin and have like 2%, 5% exposure to these riskier ETFs? I could see it as a potential because they do have it for the future-based ETFs. There's altcoin baskets already. So yeah, it would make sense for the spot ETFs as well.
Well, here's his reasoning.
3 for this cycle. But I'll give you even a stranger, or maybe not stranger, but maybe an unintuitive way to think about it. Robinhood and Coinbase.
Robinhood and Coinbase ETFs. That doesn't make sense to me. They're already publicly traded.
Yeah.
I don't like that one at all.
He's drunk.
L takes in the chat on that one. Chat, let us know though what altcoin would you like to see have an ETF? What do you think deserves an ETF? Believe it or not, I think the third one to get an ETF, this is going to sound crazy, should probably be Dogecoin.
All right, so Dogecoin over Litecoin?
Oh, hands down all day.
Okay,
dude. All day.
I can see
all
that.
All day.
JT, that's a pretty funny comment. Thank you.
All day for you guys here. Well, on top of this, guys, Dogecoin rising utility fuels hope for spot Doge ETF. So look at this, guys. Maybe I'm onto something. Maybe I am onto something here. But amidst a flurry of speculative activity in the cryptocurrency market, Dogecoin has once again taken the spotlight, surging on Tuesday just over 8% and reigniting discussions about the potential approval of a Dogecoin exchange-traded fund. So Kelly Kellum, the beauty in the basements, mi amor, the mermaid of crypto, let us know.
Merman.
The merman. I apologize.
Dad.
Sorry for assuming. What are we seeing in these charts, right? Everybody is freaking out. There's an approval coming around. What are the resistance levels? What are the support levels? Should I jump in? Should I go all in? Make me make sense of this market.
I got
also,
the black
I can't hear you
lung
whatsoever 1 second, so just give me 2 seconds.
What I was going to say is, you know what?
Go for it.
There's
Just
a
keep
lot on the table right now. A lot on the table right now. And I just want to point back to about a week and a half ago when everybody was so frustrated on what we could just now look at as a scheduled pullback on the way to the upside. Now, was there anything that was indicating that a move was coming? And by the way, thank you for having me back. I've been traveling. And it's good to be back with the family. Everybody that's out there, make sure you hit that like button. And let's talk about what's going on. One of the reasons why I love crypto is the fact that everything's transparent. It's on a blockchain. Everybody can see. And on May 20th, this is just before, I'm getting a double on audio. On May 20th, just before the move, Ethereum, I actually posted this. Is Ethereum signaling a move? And this was a post from Ali Charts. He said Ethereum whales bought over 110,000 Ethereum in the past 24 hours. This is just literally, I posted this and like 20 minutes later is when the market moved up. This is why it's always so good to follow the whales. We can also see, look at how, and this of course has to do with the dynamics of the Ethereum blockchain and staking and so many other factors. But just look at the balance on exchange. This is on-chain data showing Ethereum. Look at how low this has gone. This hadn't been this low since back here in 2015, 2016. This is incredible. This is such a good dynamic for supply and demand. And then, of course, this also tailors into Bitcoin as well. But this is from Santiment showing that basically the amount of capital that has been put into the stablecoin wallets, essentially non-zero balances, meaning people are moving stablecoins and we're seeing a lot of stablecoins being printed. This is typically in preparation for a buy. Right? So this is a wonderful setup that we have going on. But when we're looking at the chart, let's just look at where we came from. Up, retrace. This is a giant bull market. There's never been a bear market when you look at this on the macro. It's just rise, retrace, continuation, retrace, setting up for the continuation. And look at where price is being held right now. We could tell with the BitLab trading stack that this is basically testing that order block from the previous all-time highs. Now, when we look at this with very simple lines on the chart, I'm just doing basically support line from here to here, projected out, and we have the support here. We have a little bit of support here, and then we get the rejection right here. We had a little deviation above right into this zone that we have marked out. But look at this price action right now. I mean, I could not be more bullish. If we do get a rejection, we have to, even if, let's put it this way. Whether we get an approval or a rejection, there's an opportunity for price to go either direction. We saw with the ETF approval on Bitcoin, the sell-off that followed over the next week or two. Now, what we see here, if we do get a drop, these are the key levels I'm watching directly below us. Let's get down to the 4-hour. Directly below us, right down in this zone here, about $3,200. And then, of course, the support down here right at about 3,000. If we drop below that, we'll have to reassess and see what's going on, potentially down below 2,700. But I'm ultra bullish right now, and I'm going to show you why when we look at the Bitcoin charts in a second. If we do, continue pushing to the upside, the next level I'm really watching is directly above us, that $4,000 level. But more importantly, the cross section of this diagonal previous support now flipped to resistance right in the middle of this order block area, as well as a previous all-time high zone. And that would be up here at this $4,500 level. Now, if we look at this like a, bull flag style type of pattern, if we measure this out and move this up to this zone, this sort of gives that level that DZ was just talking about, that 60% increase right at $6,000. Now, what's exciting, and I don't want people just to trade on this, but this is why you have long-term vision on charts. When you look at this on the macro and see this giant cup and handle right here, the target out of this, you wouldn't believe it if I told you, it's all the way up here at $24,000. Now, this looks great, but the problem is people see this target. I know. People see this target and they don't understand the price isn't going to go straight up there. The price is going to do what bull markets do, which is rise, retrace, continuation, retrace, scare the life out of you, and continue up. So you're going to have to realize this is going to take some work to get up there. But on the macro, I could see Ethereum, through 2025, getting in that $17,000 to $25,000 range, which is absolutely bullish. So I'm very positive on what's going on here, but I want to share a couple Bitcoin charts as well, because these are going to work somewhat in tandem of what's going on. Before we do that, though, we cannot ignore the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. Now, DZ has pointed out over the last couple months this huge macro trend line, the support line that comes all the way back to December 2016. When we project this point to this point and ignore the rest, just this point to this point, we can see that this actually did act as support again here. We have lost this zone recently back here, basically middle of March. A bit of a deviation, which scared a lot of people. There's a lot of that misinformed speculation, positive or negative, around the Ethereum ETF. And now we look at where this is at. It's crazy how this downtrend resistance that comes back here since August 2022 to where we're at right now, the price, this movement just took us right up into this cross section. So even if we get a shakeout from here, remember, things are bullish looking into the future. If we get a shakeout from here, to me, that is a buying opportunity. I think ETH will make up a lot of these losses against Bitcoin here in the near future. And this is an important area. Look at these double order blocks right in the zone and the cross section of these two trend lines right here. Now, when we're talking about what's going on with the Bitcoin, let's remember what's going on the macro. We are in the exact same position we've been in the last 3 cycles, challenging the price, having some washout shakeouts right at the previous all-time high. Same thing right here, right at the previous all-time high. Same thing right here. But more importantly, let's not get lost on price action. Look to the data. Stochastic RSI is fully reset. Same thing that we saw right here before that bullish, the shift from bearishness to bullishness right here, where the RSIs came down and reset and started pushing up even before the price action moved here. So we're getting that same signal now. And what makes that happen? Global liquidity. We can see global liquidity when this loads. There we go. Has bottomed out and is starting to push up. This is going to be fuel for the fire that we want to burn, baby. In addition to that, we can actually see the capital flow. What is the capital flow doing? It has come down and reset and starting to move back up, just like we saw back here. Large pump, come back, reset, and then you get the major move. Remember what I just said at the end of that. And then you get the major move. That's what's next. And we can see it in the capital flow on Bitcoin. Everybody thinks it's the ETFs. See this bright green area? This is the ETFs. This is the other capital that's coming into the market. And both of these are starting to tick up strongly. This is looking good. So let's skip the other charts. I want to get right into the TA. Looking at where we're at right now, I want to point out the last 3 weeks, you're going to see a lot of lines when I zoom out here. But the last 3 weeks, I had this blue line on my chart talking about around May 22nd, May 23rd, I was expecting to see some upside price action. And you know what? Bitcoin got a little too excited. It front ran it. Great. Having a little bit of a pullback. I talked about this yesterday on the BitLab stream, right to this descending trend line, this semi-midterm trend line that's been the downtrend since we hit all-time highs. And so what we're seeing right now, nobody should be scared about. Anytime you see price action break a trend line, you want to see it come back, flip that previous resistance to support, and then make that move to the upside. That's the healthy movement. What we're seeing right now is overwhelmingly healthy. So in terms of the levels I'm watching right now, I think that with the Ethereum ETF, that's going to cause volatility either direction. If we do drop down from here, I expect a bounce somewhere above 65,000. If we do lose this level. If we start pushing up, I'm watching essentially this whole area 69 to 71,000. If we're able to clear 71,000, I don't think that this previous all-time high is going to be any bit of a chore. I'm super bullish on this. The market right now is doing the things that it needs to do. And zoom out. If you're frustrated, look at where the market's come from. You'll have a better, clearer vision about where it's going. And if you want to know more, head over to BitLab Academy stream after this. Hey, we still have that huge halving special going on right now as well, too. I'll just shout that out really quick. Head over to lab.bitlabacademy.com/Kelly, and you can sign up. You can throw that link in the live chat, lab.bitlabacademy.com/Kelly. It's half off for basically you get half a month free, and then huge deal for the life of your account. Come be in our family.
We'll be actually having a member stream tomorrow in there as well with you, Kelly. Always a pleasure having you on, brother.
Adios,
muchachos.
muchachos.
Appreciate it. All right. And, you know, when he was looking at the charts, I just couldn't help. I noticed a little bit of a trend line forming on the 1 hour chart here with Bitcoin. You can see that we lost that support here. When I went to my 11-minute chart, because sometimes I'm a degen, I couldn't help but notice, look at the volume spike, the candle where we lost support here. So this is that, this is that support going back days and days and days. We fell below it. And then look at these giant red volume candles after we lost that as support. A lot of people just fled the sinking ship that is called Bitcoin today. This is all very recent. This is all selling 1, 2, 3, about last 88 minutes here.
Yeah, and we do have some breaking news here. So, shout out to everybody in chat. Let's get some W's in chat. Wake everybody up. Let's go, baby. Let's get excited. Bitcoin exchange liquidation map on the daily here. Run. This is insane. So we do see the bulls now taking control. So you guys know I love liquidation charts. It's how we called the bottom at $56,600. It's why we bought $50,000 worth of ETH. It's why you saw DZ longing like every single project on the market, making steak dinners almost day in and day out for the last 2 months here.
I caught some knives this morning.
Costco's actually out of steaks because DZ made so many. It is insane. He is just lathered in steaks right now. But the Bitcoin exchange liquidation map, guys, for the first time, we are seeing it turn over in favor of the bears. We're seeing some support around these ranges, which is why if you follow me on Twitter or were here last night, and shout out to all the new people in here. Also, shout out to all the old people from, of course, the previous channels, disasters. You guys are beautiful. I'm happy for you guys being here today, guys. Make sure you smash that like button. Look, I'm new. It is what it is. I love you guys. We're going to absolutely crush it here together. This 1 day chart here shows us that Bitcoin is more inclined now to start pushing back up and starting to create that support at these ranges. If we go to the 7-day chart here, you're going to also see bulls again have officially taken a favor on the weekly. Now, you want to see this tend to see a pretty massive a teeter-totter. That'd be the best way to put it. It's a teeter-totter. And the markets constantly go like this. It's a battle between bulls and bears. You have buyers and you have sellers.
Yeah. I like the tug-of-war metaphor that you're saying.
The tug-of-war one's
Try
good.
to pull them into the mud.
Exactly. And so that's a good point. I was trying to forget. I was like, what was the analogy I made? But so right now you want to see the tug of war from the bears. You want to see them pull overextended, because what happens when they get all the way to the other side of the mud, market makers, the cheaters, the BlackRocks, the banks, they come in and they go to the other side and they help pull it the other way. Yeah. And then they get dragged back
They're
and
at
forth.
the end of the rope and you're pulling, you got the big banks behind you. You're like, yeah, we're all short in the market. And then you turn around, like BlackRock's not behind you anymore. And you're like, what? And you see them across the way. You're like, no, you're against me now.
They changed teams yeah, it was like when you play FIFA with your friends back in 2014 and you just switch teams immediately mid-game.
Never played FIFA.
Really?
I know it was
loved
supposed
FIFA.
to be fun. Never played it.
Loved FIFA. Well, on the 30-day,
I'm supposed to like
that's
soccer.
crazy.
Yeah.
What? I'm almost ashamed. I was a huge FIFA fan. But so on the 1 day and 7 day, bulls are starting to win. What you'll see on the 30-day, guys, is the bears still have a little bit more steam that needs to be wiped out. And that's why we're looking for that $66,300 wick candlestick. And I'm show you how this looks like on the heat map here. So if you guys are new to seeing the liquidations here, I'm not a guy that tends to like TA as much because I like colors. It makes it way easier. Okay, I don't like the astrology and everything going on. It's just way easier to look at the liquidation levels. And how this just works, guys, is very simple. The brighter the color, the more money is at that level. And the price likes to go to where the most money is.
Think of it like a moth heading towards the light. It typically is going to go to the brightest light.
But what happens when the moth gets to the light?
Gets burnt.
Exactly. The market makers go, and then you just die.
Yeah,
there you go.
It is a moth.
And then you fall. Yeah. And then it falls just down to the floor. So that is what we're watching right now. Bitcoin tried to get to that light, and then it got rejected. Now it's falling back towards the ground here, which is going to be at $64,500. There's actually more liquidity building up down there. But I want to look at what's happening on the 12-hour time frame here. We are seeing more liquidations again above us at $70,400. So I'm expecting in real time, looking at these liquidation maps, guys, and then looking at the delta spread here, Bitcoin's now in the negative. You want to buy in the red, sell in the green. When you're at the top of these green peaks, that's when you want to take profits. When you're in the red, that's when you want to start dollar cost averaging, right? we are now seeing that delta spread completely wiped out, which tells me one thing and one thing only, that we're looking to find support. It could continue lower. It may very well continue a little bit lower, but it does look like a good chance to start dollar cost averaging.
Could you go back to that previous screen? In a bullish environment, the green will go higher than the red will go lower.
Exactly.
In a bearish environment, it will be opposite.
And let me put out the pin here. I was like,
Josh, I have a question.
Yeah.
What if you're someone who's kind of new and you bought in the green expecting it to go higher? What do you do now?
So if you bought in the green, you FOMO'd. And unfortunately, that usually happens is when you buy and everything, like, right, you didn't buy at 56K, you didn't buy at 63K, you didn't buy at 68K, and it went to $72,000. You're like, oh, I'm back in. It's going to go to all-time highs. This just tends to happen. It's completely normal, guys. So what you're looking at here, it's very simple, okay? This black line is your windshield wiper. On the top of the market here, you have your bears, okay? These are people shorting the market. And on the bottom of it, you have your bulls. And this windshield wiper right here, these are the cheaters. These are your market makers. This is your Wintermutes. This is Binance. These are the big players in the industry. And when too many bears come out of hibernation, the bulls will wipe out the bears. And when too many bulls come out, start charging, there's no bears on the market, the bears will start wiping out the bulls. And it goes back and forth like a windshield. So in real time, when you have a massive green mountain right here, it means there's a way too many bulls. And more than likely, if you FOMO'd in, right, you bought at 70K, well, that was when it was at the maximum of bulls. They were all over leveraged. Check out Ethereum. I'll show you Ethereum's chart right here. Ethereum, you could see, still massively over leveraged, right? This is why I think Ethereum needs a pretty strong pullback right now to about $3,600. Ethereum still needs those bulls. Look how many bulls there are, right? These need to get wiped out before we can move higher. You like to see it neutralize. What neutral looks like is the zone at the bottom left. When you get down to that zone, that's traditionally where you're finding pretty significant support level, or you're looking to break through that support and then do the opposite. Like if you see this, instead of it being green, it's red, that means you're dropping through the floor right now. That means you're starting to pull back.
Sack Nasty, sell at a loss. It's what we all do. Learn the hard way, noobs. Grows character. Sack Nasty wants you to step in the bullshit or the bear trap. But you know what? It does happen to all of us. It is one of the best ways to learn. I always say the best lessons leave bruises.
Yeah, buy high, sell low.
That's what
right?
My abusive stepfather would say, at least.
Well, if you can pull up Dogecoin chart on your...
That's the show, guys.
That's it there for you guys. If you can pull up Dogecoin chart, I'm very curious to see where it's at right now because Dogecoin is consolidating at the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders. The expectation of this breakout in the next 24 to 40 hours with a price target of 22 cents. What's it looking like?
I just have it on the 11-minute chart still, and I just saw a sea of red. So this is what I first saw, right? I went to BTC.
What's the price?
Oh, wow, they both look just terrible here. So Doge falling, cascading, just heading down further and further. Where it wicks, it will stick, so it might try to go down to 15.6 again. But if we go to the 1 hour, I'm starting to see, maybe a nice little horizontal level of support. Let's go to the 4 hour here. Yeah, okay horizontal level of support with that scam wick to the downside. So could potentially be a bounce also at a pretty important horizontal level right here. These blue lines, don't worry about the blue lines. Somewhat maybe can still play out though. They're actually not terrible looking.
So chat's asking where you can find those charts.
That's actually pretty good. Dang.
What is it?
I'm gonna keep this on here. I drew this out with the Doge stream at like 1:30 p.m. Then this is I guess several days ago or whatever, and it's like, yeah, it's gonna do something like this.
It's kind of on that.
I mean, I was a little, as per usual, DZ was a little too bullish. So
Are you plan D? Is that what you're saying? You're plan D on the charts.
I am Elon Musk.
That's your stock to flow. Well, Chat is asking where you can find those charts, guys. That's called the High Block Capital. You can find it in the description below. If you can put it in chat right there, just Hyblock, HYBLOCK, capital.com. And it is a little bit pricey up there, but if you guys want to look at these, I'm always constantly posting them in the Telegram. I'm also constantly posting them on Twitter, and we cover these every single day live for you guys, both in the morning and Monday through Thursday at 4 p.m. when I go live with you guys. And DZ also covers more at 1 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit that like button, and stick around. But I could tell, chat, isn't it? It's like, I like colors. Some people like TA. We're just back and forth on a little bit of both.
Someone asked about Bonk. I know Bonk was pushing close to, oh my God. I pulled up Bonk on CoinGecko. Look at, I guess there's someone on base. That one is up 60% today. I'm not saying go buy it, but this is pretty interesting. We go to Bonk, we go to Max, hit here. Really, really close, y'all. Really, really close. So we're getting pretty close. After we pass that, price discovery zone.
Yeah, and we should have a referral link for HighBlock soon. I needed to ask Tim where that is at too, because we're going to be getting you guys discounts on that too.
Okay.
But Justin, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF officially overtakes Grayscale for the most assets under management. Absolutely bullish. Completely makes sense. It was only going to happen at one point or another. U.S. Bitcoin ETFs amassed 2,212 Bitcoin in a day, led by BlackRock's IBIT and Fidelity's FBTC.
And you know how many are printed or created each day, right?
200?
450.
I was close.
Yeah, we just got dropped down from 900 a day. Now only 450 Bitcoin are mined daily.
So you're saying only 450, so that means it's like a 5x, or there's 4 times the amount of Bitcoin being sold, almost 5 times the amount of Bitcoin being sold than are being printed each and every single day.
And that's why we saw that Kelly's figure where it has Bitcoin on exchanges. It's heading in one direction for the last few years here.
Less and less Bitcoin becoming available. And here's net inflows from Eric Balchunas on Twitter saying to the Bitcoin ETFs X, sorry, you can see that the third wind forming again. The ability to rally back after hangovers from highs is rare for a new and volatile category. Now 8 straight days of inflows, about $1.7 billion in May, totaling a net year-to-date of $13.5 billion. Eric Balchunas is bullish here. We're looking at Bitcoin is still quiet and still trending. In my view, we're quite far from the euphoria phase of this bull run. You could argue on the boundary between enthusiasm and excitement. So this is a really cool chart here. This kind of goes with the market psychology, right? I don't believe we've seen euphoria yet. When you see euphoria, that's when your friends, families, Uber drivers, and people that have nothing and never have seen crypto in their life are putting their life savings into it. That's when you have to get out.
Yeah, when the
run.
Uber driver has charts up on his phone, that's when you know. I like this person's name is Checkmate. I don't know if you saw what is his name. What's the famous chess player that's ranked #1 in the world?
Magnus Carlsen.
Magnus
Carlsen.
Magnus Carlsen. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's in the news right now. He's dunking on the reporters who are misquoting him over the. What do they call that? Dildo gate? I'm not trying to be funny here with the whole thing up the. Remember the guy was cheating at chess, and they're saying maybe he had something vibrating in a certain area.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's been attacking reporters lately.
Oh my gosh, is that real? Is that a thing?
Yeah. They're trying to misquote him and saying he's a.
He's like, ooh.
It's just a fun story. The whole chess world is still aflutter about it.
That's quite insane, if you ask me. But when they're looking at this chart, we're not looking at anything shoved up in places they shouldn't be, where the sun don't shine. We're looking at escape velocity. So we have chop consolidation, quiet and chop solidation here. When you're looking at this bottom metric, he is saying that we're still in the orange category here and haven't even hit an excitement. In fact, we're about to break into excitement. Now, for me, I honestly would have to agree. I think we're already in the excitement stage. I think it's fair to say that, breaking that all-time high, when you're on CNBC, seeing people talk about like Solana ETFs, you're in the excitement category. There's a lot of people very excited to be in crypto right now. There's a lot of people still very disappointed though. And what that is called is disbelief. Disbelief is when people go, no, it's going to crash. And then at 30K, they short Bitcoin, like Gareth Solid. Then at 40K, they short Bitcoin. And at 50K, they short Bitcoin. And at 60K, they short. And they just never believe we're in a bull run.
We got a lot of Uber drivers trading.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hang on a second. I have a question. You're talking about disbelief. What about dat belief?
Dat belief?
It's a dad joke. Sorry.
Oh,
dat.
I missed it. Well, guys, nothing against Uber drivers. By the way, I used to do Uber all day long. It's a great side hustle too. If you're just looking to like save up for vacation or pay for whatever you'd like to do, it's a great gig. What I'm saying though is in 2021, my Uber driver told me about none other than SafeMoon. So, that was a clear sign. It was in Miami, actually.
You probably watched a little Barstool Presidente.
Probably told me that, it's going to be the next greatest thing. And
Choose Rich Nick was on a pizza review yesterday.
Yeah, I got to go watch that now.
He didn't go in character, and then Dave Portnoy was really upset at him not being in character. If you remember the Choose Rich guy, he's the guy who looks a little bit like Millhouse, and he's like, choose Rich, and he's like in his helicopter.
He's
like
probably nervous, dude.
He's like pouring Pellegrino in his toilet to flush his toilet or whatever. Presidente comes out and he's like, when did you turn into Gandhi all of a sudden? Because he wasn't in character. He's like, what are you being all nice for? He's like, yeah, I don't want to give this pizza a bad score. He's like, what are you talking about? You were the cock of the walk 5 minutes ago, and now you're being all nice when the cameras are on. So don't watch it expecting him to be in character.
That's lame, dude. Yeah, guys, that joke went right over my thick unibrow here. Bitcoin market cap nears 10% of gold as institutional interest soars. Incrementum report. A report compiled by wealth management firm Incrementum, shared by Mister, a researcher at Adamant Research, sheds lights on the growing institutional interest in Bitcoin. So this is pretty cool. Here's some charts. U.S. debt since 2015, that central banks around the world have been decreasing their exposure to the US dollar. They've been buying more and more gold and getting rid of more and more dollars. US debt held by foreign central banks. This is China. This is Japan. This is Germany. A lot of countries losing a little bit of that dollar and buying more and more
if
gold.
I was an evil dictator or even a benevolent dictator, I know what I would buy. If I have a choice, we had a little surplus. Hey, you could buy gold or U.S. junk bonds. I know what I would choose.
It's quite clearly gold, right? It's according to the report, Bitcoin's market capitalization, get this, is approaching 10% of gold's currently 8.4%. And Bitcoin is currently valued at $1.4 trillion compared to gold's $16 trillion. I do believe we will hit a price point of like $650 something odd $1,000. Not an exact round number, but the marginal cost of production for Bitcoin, I do believe, will coincide with the marginal cost of production of gold in the future. And that value, that store value, that account is going to be valued at above $10 trillion. It could be by 2030. It might be 2036. But the projections are obvious that Bitcoin is being adopted on a parabolic route. It's just going up and up and up like the internet did. So that's kind of where
Bitcoin losing $3,000 definitely hurt its percentages here. You can see gold right now, 15.7 trillion. So that means Bitcoin would need to be 1.5 trillion or 1.6 if you want to round up. We're only 1.3 at the moment. So not quite 10%.
And this is a really cool chart that shows a key distinction between gold and Bitcoin is that Bitcoin supply is fixed with 94% of its total 21 million coins already minted, translating to a circulating supply of 19.7 million. In contrast, gold supply continues to grow steadily and is projected to reach 250,000 tons by 2030. So gold is going to be continuously inflationary. There's a lot of gold out there in the world. They continue to find more and more.
You know what? Don't get me started on the meteors.
Oh, yeah. We're going to start sending, Elon Musk is going to be attaching himself to meteors.
Well, I will say this. Terrence Howard, he said he could turn lead into gold. So now we got to watch out for these people too,
Yeah, the man, Teriology, right? Teriology, the man with all the answers. He figured out how planets are created, if I'm not mistaken.
And the periodic table.
Hey, I will say this. No one knows why gravity works.
So doesn't Terry.
Oh, man, you know what? That's it.
An old Bitcoin wallet from 2010. Guys, imagine, what would you do if you were this person? This guy bought $140 million worth of Bitcoin at 10 cents essentially. Opposite way around. He just opened up his wallet. He bought how many? 2,000 Bitcoin at 10 cents.
10 cents.
What is that?
Whoa.
Is that $20? No, that's not $20. That's $200 at 10 cents. Yeah, that's crazy, guys. 140 million. He just woke up to $140 million.
$200 to $140 million. Now that you have to know, this guy had more than one wallet. There's no way he only held that. I'm sure he had other wallets he was selling on the way up, folks.
It's actually, T. Howard also believes 1 times 1 equals 2 is what it is, right? I believe that is not 1 plus 1, it's 2. It's
just math, guys.
It's just math. Yeah, it's just math. Yeah, it's facts here. Every 96 person, if you guys thought you were late to the crypto market, well, only one out of 96 people. So every 96, that's wrong. Every 96 person on the planet currently owns at least $1 in Bitcoin. Shout out to those people. Veteran Analysis shares what to expect next to Bitcoin price here. According to the analyst, the key supply zones for Bitcoin price are between 70,180 and 70,600. We've done a lot of TA, but ultimately what this guy believes is that we're going to drop down to $65,125. I actually am kind of in this range. I don't know if we'll go that low. I'm looking at the $66,500 to $67,350 level, between that range. We might get that wick down before, guys, we hit 300 likes. So, guys, give yourselves a round of applause. Shout out to you guys. Guys, make sure you smash that like button if you're enjoying this content. It helps us out. It shows us the support. We love all of you. You guys are an amazing community. I do believe we are going to bounce back up. Not towards 77,593, but more so when we look at the liquidation models here, guys, right? You're looking at pretty much a dead period between $74,000 and $78,000. So I would be about more in the middle here, around $76,422. I do believe that next leg up is going to break that previous all-time high before we get another correction. What's that next correction? It might be from $76,000 or $77,000 Bitcoin back down to 71K, right? That is where you're looking to make those trades. And we're going to be watching the liquidations every step of the way with you guys on this channel.
Seth Shepard, only 1 out of 96 people own Bitcoin. That's actually not even that accurate. It's there's one wallet for every 96 people. A lot of people have more than one wallet. And Chemistry Bro has actually what what Terrence said. 1 times 1 equals 2. 1 times 0 will equals 1.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because when I think of one group of 0, it equals 1.
Yeah, it's one group of... Math is broken. Well, what else is broken? The House. Well, breaking U.S. House passes historical FIT21 crypto bill. This is incredibly bullish for, of course, our politicians here. And here's U.S. Congressman talking a little bit about what this digital age requires. Guys, we're moving into we're not in the industrial revolution anymore, guys. We're in the digitalization revolution. And here we go. We're going to listen on this. I think we should have audio.
For digital assets, cryptocurrency, and innovation. Tom Emmer.
The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, we have an opportunity to determine whether the next iteration of the internet will be designed by Americans or if it will instead reflect the values of some other nation. The FIT21 Act gives us that opportunity and unlocks a larger conversation beyond innovation. This bill is about national security. It's about consumer protection. It's about global competitiveness. It's about shaping what the future global digital economy looks like and how it functions. Currently, all online transactions are intermediated. But as we move deeper into the digital age, digital assets are key to decentralizing the internet so Americans can transact directly with each other. Now, no intermediary needed. Without crypto, we don't have this ability. And I think giving Americans the choice to do business through an intermediary or directly with each other is important. Having that choice will fundamentally alter the digital economy, unlocking new opportunities for Americans and individuals across the world.
And let me pause right there. This is what makes me so bullish on Ethereum. It's going to unlock a new opportunity for our digitalized economy. It is tokenization of our money markets, guys. It's tokenization of our treasuries. It's tokenizations of our traditional banking system. 365, 24/7, you're going to have access to liquidity, and that means institutions are going to have access to liquidity. U.S. treasuries, guys, are jumping every single day by tens of millions of dollars, and when the Ethereum ETF gets approved, this is what all of these tokenized services are built on top of, and I believe it is the threshold that is holding institutions from FOMOing, from jumping into the next step of what these markets can provide, which is the tokenization of our treasuries right now. And you're seeing that with the recent news, with the ETF announcement, the hype up here. You are getting an uptick. Over the last 3 days, we are getting a massive uptick in both projects like Ethereum. Stellar is actually the second largest one in terms of products that are built on, or tokenized products are building on top of Stellar, but that's going to be Franklin Templeton, BUIDL's on top of Ethereum, and Ondo is the only way you can get exposure as a retailer. I shill Ondo a lot, but it's so bullish.
It had a 10% pump today. I'll go ahead and pull it up right now. It was 9 point something when I looked earlier, and now it looks like it probably hit that 24-hour period where it's maybe down.
Probably coming back down to with the rest of the market.
So when it was like around 24 hours from this dip, it was a very, very good pump. Now it's cooled down a little bit, but hey, still up 3.3%.
It's at 96 cents. W in the chat if you hold. Who holds Ondo? One in the chat if you hold Ondo. That's freaking awesome.
I bought in the 80s, 80.
You did buy, yeah.
I bought on stream. So.
I think that's honestly maybe one of the best blue chip projects of this market. But either way, it's the underlying concept of the approval of the ETF. I think it's going to give that regulatory certainty that institutions go, all right, we can utilize this product. Tokenization is becoming more prominent. You see Chainlink, they're at the forefront of this as well with CCIP. Chainlink, I'm incredibly bullish on as well. They are working with now a massive asset management firm with over $100 million in assets under management for real estate in Hong Kong. It is bullish, chat. It is extremely, extremely bullish. So just in, Congressman Brad Sherman, Cobra Coin is coming out and he's mad. He's like, I don't like this crypto bill. Here's what he had to say for 20 seconds.
Did you say Cobra Coin?
Yeah, Cobra Coin. Remember he said that?
Cobra Kai?
Oh, no, remember
that's right.
He's what is it? Cobra Coin?
Yeah.
Chat, we're going to have 30 seconds. Whoever has, I want to see the best roast in the chat. Okay, best roast in chat. How do we get someone's how do I do a giveaway where we can just grab somebody? Is Nick in here?
I'm here, yeah.
Okay, can we just highlight that guy and
or girl
or that whoever it is? How do we do a giveaway in chat without getting them lost in the sauce?
Yeah, you'll just have to call out their name and then they'll have to DM us on
Twitter.
On Twitter, yeah.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna play 30 seconds of this clip. The best roast of Brad Sherman wins.
Last week we had Police Week.
$25, by the way.
This week the Republicans show us that they support crime in the suites. The effect of this bill short term will be to disempower the most effective investor protection crime investigation organization in the world, the SEC. But the long-term objective of the crypto billionaire bros is to create a new currency, and they've named it well. Cryptocurrency literally means hidden money. And if it ever becomes a currency, it means that we will not be able to enforce our tax laws except on wage earners. And we will not be able to enforce our laws against child and traffickers, drug dealers, and those who violate our sanctions.
Interesting. Brad is a Trump coin maxi. Sherman is a dinosaur politician. That's a good one. Sherman's a dinosaur politician. His points are 0. This guy is Mr. Smithers' father.
That's good.
That one's a good one. Dude looks like like a broken condom. That one's good. Looks like a washed up science teacher. The speech could be in the. All right, we got to choose one. I like the broken one.
They're still coming in. They're still
coming. We'll give it like 20 seconds for those to roll in because I know you guys are typing them out.
Squidward, but is as dumb as Patrick.
Oh, that is a good one. That is a good one. Okay, Danny, I see you coming in here.
JT, Deezy's dad. That was good. That was good.
Deezy's dad.
That is mean.
It's a good hair joke.
That is mean,
He's
dude.
the hex of the Senate.
He's the hex of the Senate. Okay, I have to Squidward trying to control Mr. Crabapple. That one's good. Mr. Burns doesn't like it. The hipster money. Sherman is old as the tank. That's the Panama Canal on the top of his.
Whoa.
Yo!
That's a pretty good one.
Yo, dude. That's hard. Sherman is mad because he couldn't buy the dip. Brad's fiat. Sherman's needs to end.
I think as far as pithy joke, old as the tank. That's my
old
winner.
as the tank.
Yeah,
I have to say Panama Canal.
Concise. It's concise.
We got to take a poll. All right, take a poll. SpongeBob. We got to take a. Can you?
Right. Yep.
Okay. So put Squidward, Panama Canal, or what was yours?
What was it? The pithy one. Sherman tank.
Or Sherman tank.
Okay. And
all right.
tank. Cool.
There we go.
Best
We'll take the vote on it. We'll see where it goes. Ugly.
Mr. Potato Head, if he could talk, also good.
That was also good. Squidward, Panama Canal, or Sherman tank. It's one of those three. I personally like the Panama Canal, but we'll see which one takes the lead. You guys are going to win $25. Make sure whoever wins that goes ahead and DMs us on the Discover Crypto Twitter. All right, Discover Crypto Twitter. Make sure you choose one. Go ahead and vote for yours because you're on the sticks today.
I can hit close, and it doesn't close the poll; just closes it on our screen. So I won't affect the vote.
Okay. White House opposes FIT21, but says it's eager to work with Congress. So this is just big news. You have Maxine Waters, who's the corrupted lady right here. She received all this dark money from FTX.
Read the tweet below, and then we'll look back at the picture.
Yeah.
Here.
So this lady, let me make sure I circle her. Okay. And I gotta blur out her eyes like that because she's just like evil. She said Maxine Waters just referred to the FIT21 as an extreme MAGA libertarian approach to regulation. Doesn't sound like a sea change in the Democrat approach to crypto to me. The most harmful proposal I've seen in a very long time. She says it's so funny she's saying that because Brad Sherman's talking about criminals, money laundering, all this stuff. She received most of her campaign donations came from SBF right here. Little curly fry hair guys. This guy right here with the gross, the big stomach. You know what I'm doing? I don't know what I'm drawing out here. I should be careful. Maxine Waters received a lot of her campaign donations from this dark money and this massively corrupted individual. So L Maxine Waters. Let's see a bunch of L Maxine, because she deserves all the L's in the world. Nancy Pelosi votes for a landmark crypto bill. And this is why you should not bet against, the bullishness in Congress right now. Nancy Pelosi is in favor of the crypto bill. So that only tells me one thing and one thing only. She is the best trader that exists in America. One of the top 5, at least. She probably has some long positions.
Yeah, she probably has some long positions. Maxine Waters' position on SBF, blow him kisses. Oh. I'm actually not joking. I pulled up the GIF here. She literally was blowing him kisses. That's her right here.
Bye-bye.
That's Sam Bankman-Fried. You could notice his fro. And
he loves her sugar daddy.
She's like, I love you. I'll visit you. I'll see you in prison. I'll visit you in prison. Wait for me.
The biggest scammer, bigger than Bernie Madoff, by dollars, biggest scammer in the world ever, or it's up there. I'm sorry, that's our government grift. But, one of the biggest private sector grifters in mankind's history. This is what she does.
Yeah. She's like, oh my gosh. She's got like a tattoo of
Have
him.
you seen any video of SBF where you're like, yeah, this guy comes off as a credible actor? Or is he like fidgeting and it looks like he's on meth?
He's like tweaking on meth and he's playing like at this
he's
keyboard.
He's tweaking like it's the 36 Berlin Olympics.
Oh, yeah. They're secret lovers. That might be why him and his girlfriend did break up. Maybe they were the starstruck
lovers. How much money would you have to be paid to watch that in completion?
I don't. Let's not take that. Let's not pull that one.
I mean, we're going full blown, eyelids peeled open.
I don't even think I would take the $140 million
you wouldn't
in
do
Bitcoin.
It for one Bitcoin?
Dude,
I'd watch for one Bitcoin.
I would for one Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a poll.
You can't forget that. That's the amount of therapy
you'll need.
You're not
joining unless you want.
Look.
It's the polycule.
All right, moving on
rules.
to, speaking of joining, the Democrats voted yay on this bill, guys. There was a lot of yays on this bill, a lot more surprisingly that came out. If you guys want to see that, Dan Spoler put it out here on Twitter. Just in the SEC is facing probes over Prometheum's plan to custody ETH. That is incredibly bullish. The corrupted Gary Gensler is getting probed over Prometheum's, their poster child, BS of announcing that Ethereum is a security and just kind of doing all of this random regulation they think that they get to control. Minimizing crypto taxes. I'm curious to know here, guys, the countries with the best crypto digital asset taxes, according to this article, is Germany, which I think is BS. Then Portugal, Singapore, those make sense. Malta is also good. Switzerland's pretty decent. Germany's interesting because I'm pretty sure you get taxed 44% or 45% after the first year. So you literally are like risking, okay, cool, yeah, 0%. After a year, but if you're in a bull run, you're gonna be buying and selling and trading all of the time, right?
Yeah, for sure. I was trying to find a clip of her raging. I haven't found it yet, but I might be able to find it still. Still might be able to.
Raging.
Yeah.
Speaking of raging, the U.S. national debt is raging harder than ever, taking that Viagra. J.P. Morgan with $582 billion. Yes, with the B, added to the U.S. national debt here. Most recently, our debt, they're just turning on these money printers. Brad Sherman, the people that want to protect the U.S. currency because it's not corrupted. Yeah, they're just money printing left and right, making tons and tons of money off it. Fed Pivot could release $6 trillion in the crypto. This is an interesting conversation. Analysts are between, is the Fed Pivot going to be bearish for stocks and crypto, or maybe just stocks? And it's a very interesting concept to talk about, that this pivot could mean retail investors, if they see a lot of this, easy borrowing costs, maybe it's going to mean that they are, as it stands right now, I think every American feels the heat. They feel the burn. They know that holding US dollars really means nothing at this point. So are they going to start moving their assets into tokenization issues? Are they going to be focusing on things like IBIT? Will IBIT trade as a commodity, or is it going to remain a risk-on asset?
I believe that they're going to want 24/7 trading. And so to me, that increases the odds we are going to have more of these assets on chain.
And this is coming from Tom Lee, who is from Fundstrat, and he's been actually really on point with a lot of his analysis over the years. I've been watching Tom. Everybody would know what Tom is, or who Tom is if you saw a picture of him. But he's been on CNBC and talking about this for like multiple cycles at this point. So I'd have to say, I wouldn't bet against them necessarily, and I do agree that there's a lot of valid points to that perspective. Goldman Sachs says they don't even expect an interest rate cut in 2024. I'm on this side because I don't think Biden wants to see those interest rate cuts. It'd be bad politically because traditionally when you see interest rate cuts, guys, you get a downside in your stock markets and tech stocks. So nobody wants to see that during a presidential election, especially if the White House is already, the Democrats are already struggling to maintain the White House. NVIDIA blew up last night, hitting $1,000 after hours. This was incredibly bullish. If you guys just honestly keep betting against NVIDIA, there's a guy on Twitter that I'm trying to, what's his name? I could probably go to Joshua Jake.
Okay, you liking it?
Yeah.
In your likes?
It's in my likes. It's in my replies.
While he's looking up, I do have NVIDIA's share price history if you want to play. This is pretty. Oh. Yeah, look at that thing. Looks like the Bitcoin chart.
Here it is. It's
wait a minute. We only got like 8 more years.
Watch this.
Woo! So there's a guy on Twitter that's been shorting this the entire way. So as you watch that chart, he's been every single time there's an earnings report. He shorted it like I think last quarter, the quarter before. he's been like, I've been trading for 5 years now. I've never seen a bubble this big. And he's been shorting NVIDIA the entire time. And he's been making the biggest L's possible. And so he's like, I opened the massive short, right? He opened a massive short.
You know what this
so
reminds me of? I've
with
never seen a bubble this big. It reminds me of like when we transitioned from horses into vehicles and like Model Ts, and then like a second and a third and a fourth car company starts Daimler, Chrysler, Cadillac, Ford, Chevy. And he's like, clearly a bubble. Clearly a bubble. This isn't life-altering technology that's going to change mankind forever. It's a bubble. That's how you sound.
I agree. And it's so funny, dude, because look at his Twitter. Look at this. This is his pinned tweet. I bought my dream car at 17 thanks to the stock market. I'm going to guarantee you, chat, right now, he rented that. He's probably in Dubai, or he rented it. That's how most of these people do. They rented their cars. I want to see the proof. Show me the, the pink slip. I don't know, or whatever it is. You probably are sitting in a rental car, and he's got maybe $2,000 spread on his jeans. It's not even that much money.
Yeah.
Can't even tell if that watch is real or not.
That's like a Temu Bitcoin watch.
And he goes, I'm making $1 million today with NVIDIA puts. Last time I made $100,000 with NVIDIA. I similarly saw the pattern right now. He's been getting wrecked nonstop. He says send to 0. Did he update it? Is NVIDIA dropping finally for him? Because if you scroll down on his page, guys, did he delete them? No, he did not delete them. Wow. Yeah, he deleted them. They're all red. Wow. This man, he was like, dude, it was down 50,000. It was down 40,000. Very funny things watching him play out right here. And he's been becoming a meme on Twitter. But now he's climbing back.
Of course, we don't see his deposits.
Did he delete? And we haven't seen his deposits because, dude, he was getting blasted. So we'll see if that continues on.
Speaking of getting blasted, I do want to make sure we cover this. We had a Solana meme coin dev who burnt himself just trying to pump up the coin. It was called... was it Dare? Literally called Dare, like Truth or Dare or something like that. And we have a little bit of a clip. It doesn't really show anything.
That guy's literally grifting so hard.
Dev set himself on fire, and his coin is only 160K market cap. He's in the hospital, realist on the blockchain. Don't worry, you can't really see anything, but you can see some flames engulfing. So yeah, that guy's really, really trying to pump his coin. I checked this morning; it was like 800K. So the pump is gone probably.
Danny Bird and Nova. What's Nova?
Sorry, those are. Do we end the poll now?
Yeah, Squidward won.
We're way over time.
Squidward, okay.
Looks like Squidward won.
Right,
so Squidward takes the lead at 44%. Which is, hey, shout out to who was that? Was that Danny Bird?
Danny Bird won.
Danny Bird wins. Make sure you DM us on Twitter. You just won $25. But yeah, that guy is 100% grifting, dude, because I was watching his page and he was shorting. And then like now all of a sudden he's just putting it the other way. I wonder if he just has opens on both ways.
Schlonging.
And then he just deletes the ones that were wrong.
They'll schlong.
They'll schlong the market because, NVIDIA is up 10% today, which is just, that is insane to think about. Past that, guys, you have a little bit from the altcoin corner here. Of course, you saw the guy light himself on fire, which is just absolutely insane. NFTs are coming back to life just a little bit as Azuki is trending, seeing multiple sales for over $17,000. You also had one Azuki bought for $273,000, an ultra rare version. Wild to see. And MetaMask is moving to Bitcoin, which means Bitcoin DeFi is looking more prominent. Runes are popping off. I do expect it to be a huge moment in this cycle. Give me your guys' favorite altcoins in chat. I want to know what is going to be the biggest mover of this cycle. I'm going to say from a blue chip perspective, my pick's Ondo. DZ, what's your pick?
Big mover this cycle. I like Ondo. I do think Chainlink is going to have a time to shine. I don't want to give anything super risky outside the top 50, but outside of top 50, close at least, Render could still have some serious moves to the upside as well. Okay. Render. I like it. Chat, I want to see what you guys believe. Nick, what about you behind the sticks?
Yeah, I'm thinking something like Stay or Injective.
Injective? I like that. I do like that. Someone goes XRP in chat. That is a good one. Dog here, though, is up 144%. So shout out to anybody that listened to the runes, guys. We were talking about getting Dog months ago at this point with the airdrops through Leonidas with the rune stones, guys. They were a 100% fair launch, 100% airdropped meme coin. They are now worth like $500 million. So shout out to literally anybody that got into Dog. I've seen a lot of people actually in chat on Twitter switch their things to like Dog Expert or whatever it is. So I've seen a lot of you guys get into those runes. It's still going to trend. You got to just kind of like, I think it's going to come more so over this summer. But that's what I got for you guys. If you're looking for the ticker, it is Dwayne Chapman. I pulled it up right here. This is the ticker.
Oh, wow.
I don't think that's the right one. It's not, folks. I'm joking.
Might be, guys. Smash that like button on the way out. We'll see you at 1:30 on DZ Show.
All right.
See you guys
Run
soon.
from the bounty hunt.